Destroy all that's in my way. Excuse me if I may destroy your system. In my projectile, but I feel no pain. Even though you and I react the same. You like the substance that humans call game. Obsessed, I'll send you down to your grave.
All right. Okay, I'm back again. So here we are. I'm loading up the creation kit for the next stream, where we're doing the creation kit tutorial and pick up where we left off yesterday in the world space building. So if you're joining me for this stream, cool. Really appreciate it. Let's see. We got several things that we're going to cover today. Today we're going to cover, I guess, how to do borders with the region thing, and also I'm going to show you how to do interiors. And let me check up to see if MDKD is going to show up, because he's the one who wanted to learn all this stuff. Oh, he's not even online. Okay, cool. So it's just he'll watch it later. And so as you know, the creation kit takes a little while to load up. So while I'm doing that, I just just dance a little bit. Just wait. And do absolutely jack shit. Okay. So I guess just getting my folders ready, getting everything just set up while that shit is starting up. Is there anything that I really need to look up here? Creation kit, lesson pictures. Okay, well, while I'm doing that, well, let's go over some basics again. Some stuff that we should pretty much memorize from the get-go. So I have my notes here. Let me show you real quick. Thank you, Bandit. So as you know, I explained this many times. Every single time, I think it's good to refresh your memory and keep what the hell's wrong with my camera again? There it goes. Okay, so it's really important to memorize where your stuff is going to be. It's going to be in your Fallout folder. There's the thing that I made, the notes that I took. Your materials are going to go into Fallout 4 data materials, and then it's going to be your mod. And then for textures, It's the same. It's the same structure. Fallout 4 data textures, your mod. For meshes, data meshes. For scripts, data scripts. Sound, data sound. And music, data music, and then your mod. And then voice files is the only one that's slightly different, where it goes in sound and then it goes in voice and then your mod. ESP if you're making a plugin, or if you're making a master, ESM. That's it. So just memorize that. And I'm just gonna wait until this thing finishes uploading, which is still doing its thing. It's still taking some time. What else? Let me wait for the program to respond, because that always takes time. Your basic interface functions, like using the render window and then holding the left mouse button, and then shift will allow you to pan around and stuff like that. Remember the letters Z, X, and C on your keyboard to use to move objects. That would be left click on an object and then hold Z, and then you can move it up along the Z axis, or the Y axis, or the X axis. So that's Z, X, and C. So your basic shortcuts. Pressing H brings up the landscape editor. Pressing I brings up the textures, and it shows what textures are being used in your in like the I don't know what to call them, in your cell. Landscape cells, exterior cells are different, much different compared to interior cells. Exterior cells are all broken down into these squares. I don't know exactly how big they are. They're like what is it, like 50 meters, 30 meters? I don't know. Something like that. I would have to look it up on Google or something. There's some definitive information to that kind of stuff, but never really pay attention to that, because that's not really that important. What's important is remembering your shortcuts, your keys, and what everything does, because you're going to be using it a lot, especially when world building. Okay, so let me check to see if this thing is finally loaded. Yes, it is. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to resize my render window over here. So as you can see, the creation kit still has the same structure as I left it last time. So resize this just to take up the this section of my screen, making it big enough. I guess I can close this thing now. And hold on a second here. Oh, my eyesight. Ugh. So now, actually, Recent Cells does finally come up now, and the Recent Cells is to New World, which I renamed from the Commonwealth. And there's also Center Region 2 and 3. Wait, no, that's Coast Guard Pier. Okay, so Center Region EXT 2. That would be the world space that we were creating. As you can see, is still here, and is still all fucked up and ugly. From the icons, as I explained yesterday, right here you got your lights. You can enable the lights, and in order to see it working right, you toggle the sky back on, and you should be able to see. Okay, the lights are completely white. Let me turn that back off, and now you can see that the light is lighting up that section of the map. And of course, since I have the sky turned on, I can always change the time of day if I wanted to. And it will always change the weather too. For whatever reason, that's just the way things are. Let me turn on the foliage again. Okay, so I actually kind of like this little map that I made. It's pretty cool. It looks nice. And you can detail it to however you wish. And what I was going to explain today is regions. So regions, we have to go over here to where it says world and then regions. So here we have a selection of different regions, like but basically what this thing does is like it gives the information of what kind of music you want to play in there, what kind of audio ambience in the background, etc., weather. You can even use regions to generate trees and generate rocks and stuff like that. So in case you want to make like a really, really huge world and you've got the patience to do that, you can make a region where certain types of rocks and certain types of trees are going to appear. And what you have to do in order to do that is you have to circle it right here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a new region. So my new region is region 107 as I just created it. Now I'm going to call this region for this tutorial, I'm going to call it tutorial region. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to create a border. So I'm going to check this box right here called border region. So it knows that this is a border region. And so tutorial region, where is it? Right there. Okay, so apply it. And I guess, let's see here. Because I can right click on this and I can just right click and go view world here and it will show me where this is exactly. Okay, so it's right there in the corner. This is actually what our whole entire land looks like right now. This is all it is. So I'm gonna build the border right here, just like that. That's it. It's that simple to create a border. And so I apply that, and now there's a border circling the entire region. So I press B. Let me see if this is correct here. Well, I would have thought it would show. I have to probably go to view over here. Go to show and hide. Portals, rooms. This region you are editing failed validation. If you continue, it will be deleted. No. What did I do wrong here? This is my tutorial region. Choose color. I'll choose a red color. Apply. You could even auto-generate navmesh just for that region. Objects more. Enable this type of data. Grass and sound. You could choose what kind of music you want to play in the overworld. So let's just do something simple. This region. Actually, let's not fuck with that. This region failed validation. Now, why is that? I don't know what I did wrong. I'm not going to do that. I have no idea what I did wrong here. Of course. I didn't delete it. Something went wrong. I was creating, I guess, the region. I mean, not the region, the border. It probably, you know what happened? You know what probably happened? It didn't close. You can go to clear last point. Okay, done. There it is. Okay, I was supposed to hit done. Okay, apply it. That's it. Now, if everything worked correctly, I press B and it should be there, right? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so you can see right there that big old freaking circle, that reddish kind of bullshit right there. That's the border area. So that means if you try to swim outwards into let's just say this corner right here of the land. Let me change the landscape a little bit. So go in here, drawing mode, delta by 34. That's okay. That looks good. And I can press W to I think was it or Shift W. Shift W, hold Shift W, and you could turn the water off. Or you could turn it back on so you can see what you're doing. All right. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fuck around with this land over here. Edit radius 8.4 is too small, so let's try 14. Much better. I'm ridiculous. Shift W again to see if that land is above the water now. And you know, if the land is like this, all fucked up, there's an easy. This is an easy fix to make this shit go away. Just turn off the drawing mode and then go into smooth vertices, and that'll get rid of that shit. See, one thing that I think happened is when I started messing around with the what is that called? The height of the ground. When it started generating new areas, it started using that data. But I kind of like it because it creates this kind of you know, unevenness to the floor. So I kept it, and I wanted to show you how you can fix that. I was like, oh, okay, I changed the number there, and that's why that generated differently from the rest of the area. So if I just smooth it out like I'm doing so right now, everything will just go away. And you could do it again actually to make a certain unevenness to your ground, your ocean or whatever. So just get rid of all that. And as you can see, everything's just everything's smoothed out, and that big old hole in the ground is gone. That's it. Okay, so let me press B again to get rid of those borders. And so this area is actually lower, and then it's, you know, creates this unevenness to the ground. I like that. It's pretty neat. Well, Control S to save it, and now we have this whole area right here in which I wanted to demonstrate, whoops, that the borders are working. So let me raise by delta again. And all I want to do here is I just want to create some kind of a way that you can swim over there, and you can do that. Soften the vertices again. Okay, Control S to save it. Now let's minimize this window. I always minimize it to, you know, so that lag doesn't affect my stream, and turn everything off again. Oh. Am I clear?
Am I clear?
Oh yeah. Okay, so let me go over there to COC, Center, Region, EXT. Okay, let's walk over there. See, wouldn't it be cool to create like some kind of world space that's just like straight up a bunch of dunes like on a beach like this? Imagine that, and just add stories of just like these people that ended up outside of the Commonwealth, and they're living on an island. Well, actually, there's already a mod like that. It's called Barrenwood. I just plugged the Friends mod. But you know, you can create a bunch of these if you wanted to. Oh, extra worlds to explore. What's not to like about that? It's freaking actually pretty easy when you think about it. When you get the hang of it, it's easy. Well, here we're at Taco Island. You know, imagine I could just put like a bunch of random taco stands everywhere. And you can make the NPCs, you know, selling tacos. So here you go. This is what I wanted to show you. The borders work. I can't pass this area where the border is on the land, and that's where the region, the border region, ends. So that's it. That's all I had to do to get that to work. Okay, so now we have borders on our landscape. Let's cover another thing. Now let's make an interior for that cave that I was talking about. So, in order to do that, first of all, let me go to center region 2 again. Turn on the lights so that I can see what I'm doing. And of course, hold shift, and you can hold shift and you can pan around. Or you could press the middle mouse button. You know, move up and down, left and right. Shift will pan it. Scrolling with the middle mouse wheel, get closer or further away. Hey, what the hell's going on here? Why does it say starting? Oh, that's Facebook. Facebook is stupid. Anyways, only asking because it looked like the border seemed to be on the surface of the water. Can you swim on the border? Under the border? No, I don't think so. It takes it covers the whole thing. The border just acts like a complete. It just blocks you off from leaving that area, unless you turn the borders off through the command line. But I didn't show that you can't swim further ahead, if that's what you mean. Okay, so interiors. Now we're going to make a new interior. So let's go to interiors, and this is how you do this. And I actually showed you how to make an interior in the lesson, in the quest creation lesson. But all I did was I duplicated one cell, and I used that cell as my template to create a different cell. Now we're going to create something out of nothing. So we're going to blank slate right now. That's what you got to think. Blank slate. So I'm going to right click right here, and I guess I can either duplicate the cell, or you know what? Let's just create it new, just completely new. Go into cells right here, into world cells, and then where it says world space, go to interiors, and fuck my eyesight. Okay, right click on this area where there's editor ID and click on new. And I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to say underscore Taco Island cell 01. Okay. And where will that put that? Will that put that? Okay. I put that all the way over here, so let me rename it. I wanted it to be all the way at the top of that list, but that's not the way it worked. So, Taco Island, cell 1, edit. It looks like it's too late to rename it, so I guess that doesn't matter. You get the idea. I would have rather used a 00 before it, so I just use everything as taco just to represent everything that has to do with this island. The Taco Island. Now I'm hungry. Okay, let's call it Inner Cave, and that's what it's going to show when you walk in through the door. It's just going to say Inner Cave. Encounter zone? No, not yet, because we haven't created one. Owner NPC, you don't have to do any of this stuff right here. External LOD, not going to need any of that. Directional ambient lighting, we're not going to set that just yet, but common data, let's see, location. We have not created a location for Taco Island, so let me do that right now. Taco Island. So we got to go to world data, I believe. Go to location, and I will make a new location and call this Taco Island. Name, Taco Island. Very simple. Parent location, nothing, because it's brand new. World location marker set. Don't have to do that just yet. And you can go right here and you can set whatever, like, you know, keywords, like to say there's the exterior and stuff like that. And all that stuff is used for generally like other things that are linked. Certain loot, certain characters, or certain words, like your companions might say something like, "Oh wow, this place has a lot of tacos" or something, and it just like it specifically will indicate just in that world space, but not like anywhere else in the Commonwealth or stuff like that. So you can do stuff like that. Music. Okay, so the type of music that will play there. Put the default music. You could put let's put Discovery Railroad maybe. I don't remember what that sounds like, but okay, we'll just leave it like that. So the location right here. Okay, we don't have to set that. What we have to do right here, actually, we got to go back to world spaces and make sure that this world space right here is using the right location too. There it is. Music default. You can change that from here as well. Okay, so now all that stuff is set up. Now let's go back to the interiors. Let's go back to Taco Island interior. So let me open it up and you will see it's an empty project. There's nothing in there. So right now it's like, oh, well, Cruz, what the fuck am I doing? There's nothing but just a gray screen. So this is how you start doing this shit. Okay, so you go over here to static. We're going to be making a cave. So the one thing that you're going to want to look for is cave. So let me go into the filters, type in cave, and you're going to see that this might be overwhelming at first, and figuring out what you want to add in there could take some time. So, but what we're going to be looking for is like, the basics. You're going to want to probably see what a wall looks like. So I just dragged that in there, and you're going to see that your wall is being added in there. And it's very interesting because when it comes to a lot of these things, they fit in a certain way. But instead of just being flat planes, since this is a cave, some of them are going to be curved, some of them are going to be walls, some of them are going to be floors, and nothing is really going to be all that. How do I say it? It's not going to be aligned very well. So you have to figure out what goes to what. So that's why they are specifically named like this. Like this one says corner in, EXSM1, floor, etc., etc. The first thing that I want to do since I made that cave wall, and you're coming in from the outside, so you're going to want to look for an entry point over here. So here it is. This is a good one. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Ramp, ceiling, wall. What is cave wall, cave floor? This one. This could take a little bit of time while I'm looking through all this crap. Get your mounts, your hallway. And I got my snapping tool right here on so that we align them correctly. All right, you know what, this looks good. This is a good start. So let me get that. Now I'm going to move it along this axis right here. Move it into position, just like that. And you see they align perfectly. So to be careful, and then I'm going to grab them both and I'm going to duplicate it again. And while this thing is on, while the snapping tool is on, you can go right here into your options. It's like a little hand with a paper, holding a paper. So your movement right here, you're snapping to grid, you can change that, and I change it often. Sometimes I use 8, sometimes I use 32, 64, 16. I use 16 a lot, but right now I'm going to use 32 because we're working on a cave. And you can snap to the angle too. It's at 90. It's at 90 degrees, so that's perfect. That's fine. And you will see it's going to snap, and it's going to snap a lot better. So it was at 8, so now it's easier to snap. Okay, so since we have this, and we're going through this list of things, I'm going to start using the middle mouse button to scroll through the different meshes that I can use. And this is important right here. So I'm looking for that mesh that goes to the ground, and that is it. I just found it. And it's probably going to stick a little bit through the floor, but that's fine. Everything is right. Everything is set correctly. Control D to duplicate it again. Holding the C button, the C key. I am now dragging this over here so that now we have like a cave entry point. So that's pretty easy. Hope you get that. It makes sense to you. Move this back over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to find something that's like a ramp. That's a good one right there. So Z, hold Z, and then move it into position. Control D to duplicate it, and once again, holding alternate and mouse scroll. I'm looking for that one mesh that goes to this. So now we have a cave that is leading downwards, and we can start building our structure here. So what I'm trying to look for here, which I don't know why I'm having such a hard time finding it, is the cave entry point. If I can't find that cave entry point, then I will use another one. I'll just make some stuff up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this hole here. See, we could actually do that with this, like this right here. But there's one specific for this. You got our cave mounds. And believe me, just like we were making our exterior, this stuff can take a long time too. So you got to be patient. And you know what? Since I found this right here, this is going to be very important. So let me move this. Let me move this aside here. And I duplicated a couple of times. This is going to be used as our floor, our cave floor here. Make it nice and big, enough to cover enough room. So how I'm doing that, Control, select it with the right mouse button, select all of them until I have everything that I want. Control D, duplicate it, move it into position. That simple. There, now we have our own floor that we can use. So I'm going to move that to the side, and I'm going to continue building what I was building over here. Okay. You got some mounds, rocks, bunch of stuff here, columns. It's going to be very useful. Cool stuff. Really, really good stuff to use, especially in caves. Okay, I went too far. We don't necessarily have to use whatever it is in here. We can make our own stuff up if we want to. But I'm just trying to find something that is going to be useful. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold the right mouse button, drag it around to rotate it into position. So now we got this thing in position. We're going to use this as our entryway. This is going to be the cave entry. And as you can see, this is one cool thing about this. I'm going to scale this smaller, right? So now we have something that we can use. I'm going to turn off the snapping tool too, so that it's going to be in the right position here. Why not switch off the rotation too? Let me see, because this is going to like lead you out. So, let me go back into my cells and go into Taco Island inner cave. Can't travel from here. Let's go into show sky region. What sky? What sky are we going to show? Tutorial region. That sounds good. And you could use sky lighting. We're not going to use sky lighting because what sky lighting will do is it's going to make everything way too freaking bright. And in order to fix this problem, you got to create an LOD clip, I believe, and then the light won't shine in certain areas. And like if you walk out, let's say if you know, the LOD light, whatever, the clipping thing, the light will be normal in the interior, and then it will get like super bright if you just like walk out to a part that's outside. That's how that works. Okay, so I'm gonna find the cave mound. Let's go with mound. Cave mound. And you can see this thing is like not gonna fit exactly through the floor, but it's gonna be there, and it's gonna be causing some kind of a little bit of an obstruction so that you can't easily go through the door. It looks like, you know, it's more like a cave. And you know, it'd be a good idea to put a couple of these in here somewhere. It'll decorate your cave and make it look more natural. Oops. Like that. Here's the cave mound. You can put them up here too. And here's some with rocks. So there we go. Now let's move this ground over here. If I don't want to like, you know, choose them all individually like I was doing right now, I could just, you know, just hold my left mouse button and just select all of them like this. So there, I'm gonna move that back into position. Turn on my my snapping tool again. Okay, so now we got our little cave that we can build. I put everything in position. Doesn't need to be perfect. And let me grab one of these so that I know what it is that I want to use so that I can start building my cave. So once again, alternate mouse scroll and look for something that I can use to make a kind of a wall here. And just scrolling through all of them and just finding that wall. It takes some time, but that's just how it is. I think that was it right there. Is that the one that I want to use? Not exactly, but it will do. And making the cave could take a little bit of time. All right. So I got to find the one that matches this wall right here, so it doesn't complicate my life. Oh, this is nice. I can use this. I'm going to use this right now, right here. Let's see. Let's see. Does it look on point over here in position? It doesn't. Scale it to the right. To the right size to cover the whole thing, so that it doesn't leave any empty spaces in the wall, because then it looks really weird. Okay, so now I got my entry point right there. Move that over there. Once again, look for that wall that I'm looking for. Those are hallways. I could even use those if I wanted to. I don't want to though. I know what I want to find. What is this? Oh, okay, these are ceilings. Okay, I think I'm getting close now. That's it right there. That's it, that's it. One of these. Wait, is this the ceilings? Yes, okay. Let's skip that for now. Let's start adding some ceilings here. As you can see, this thing's like, it doesn't match up. They designed it this way. It doesn't really match up, but all you got to do is like, just cover all the pieces. That's the good thing about caves. And if I wanted to, I can stretch this and just make one big old freaking thing. One big old piece that will cover the whole thing. The thing is that it does stretch the texture too. So let me just shrink that back up. I don't like it because it stretches out the texture. I want to just use a couple of these just to cover every area. That's one. Just like that. Cover it up. For variety, rotate it around a little bit. So now we're kind of on point, kind of. Scale it just a little bit. Just bring it down. So that we do have a kind of like a bumpy cave of some sort. Okay, one area looks lower than the other. That's because of the rock formations on it. But it's fine the way it is. We're going to cover everything up in a moment. I just need to look for that cave wall, which I can't seem to find. Let's see what's the name of this. Cave room. Cave RM. Okay, Cave RM. It's probably this wall sheet. Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. That's one of them. Exit platform. This might actually be useful too. We're not going to use that. Corner floor. It's probably this one. That's it. Found it. As you can see, that takes some time to actually to get a hold of and find everything that you need. It all takes time. It all takes time. You gotta have patience. Okay, so now I'm building my wall, and nothing is going to be perfect. So don't fret. All we want to do is we want to cover every single hole here. And so you can see now there's an issue here. We can't cover this, right? So we got to find one that will cover it. And one good way to do this is actually just get the mound over here, duplicate it, and start adding some rocks and mounds and shit, and just cover it up. Let me turn off the snapping tool. Just move it into position. No worries. And if you do this long enough, you'll start getting the hang of it. It becomes second nature to start placing all these rocks and extra crap and all that shit. Okay. Change the size, cover it all up. move it down again. See, now our cave is starting to take form. You know what? I want to add some rocks over here, so I'm going to control copy paste these rocks and put them over here. Control S to save it. I like it. I kind of like it. We still have all these other walls to do, so that's going to be the next step. Turn my snapping tools back on. Control D to duplicate it. Hold the right mouse button, rotate it, put it in position. And remember, as you're designing this, it's not a definitive thing. You got to think about, what else do you want to what else do you want to add? If you want to add another room or something, for example, just start planning things out and say, okay, well, this area right here, I can change it at any moment, any given moment. And I'll press Control Z and I'll just bring it right back to the way it was. So yeah, let's finish this wall up, and then we decide what we're gonna do next from there. That's pretty much that's how I do my shit. So I'm so hungry, my stomach is just like making weird noises, just like. All right, so there we got one wall. We covered up the entry point, so our cave is starting to take form, and it's still like a big freaking ugly square, but it's something. We're gonna build that and make it look natural. Uh-oh, what happened here? Looks like I moved that out of position. So we don't have to do all that crap over again. Just just get that and just move it all into position. If you see, as you can see, if I grab them all at the same time like that, and I hit the right mouse button and I just move it around, it moves all of them together. So that's good. So now everything is in position here. And make sure you don't leave any gaping holes where you can see the outside of the map. That looks ugly. And dumb too. So there, cover every corner. If something doesn't align right, cover it up. Just cover it up with more meshes. All right. Get a big wall right here. Just move it over here to the other side. And it's always good, it's good practice to, when you're building something, it's really good practice to keep things like organized and clean like this, because it'll be much easier to work with. Okay, once again, let me turn off my snapping tools. Move everything into position. That's looking pretty good. I like it. Control copy and control paste. Let me just get a smaller mound over here. Just cover up this little hole. I don't want anything really protruding too far out from this entry point. So just want to cover up the hole. All right, that's good enough. And remember, there was still a piece right here that had that wasn't aligned right there. Okay, so how am I going to fix this? Control copy paste, do it again. Cover it up with one of these mounts. Make a nice big mound, and it makes your the thing is that it makes everything look like more uneven, and uneven in a cave is good. Box cave is bad. Control copy paste. What's this? All right. Okay, so there it is. There we have our little room, our little cave room. So let's see, let's see. What's the first thing that I want to do? Well, what would you find in a cave? I mean, obviously you find uh, rat roaches, maybe. In this cave, find raiders. We're gonna have a person living here, so we're gonna do something really interesting with this. We're gonna build uh, like a little hideout inside of this cave. So let me start with columns, cave columns. This is actually really cool to use right here. Oh, look at this. I think I found another area that needs some covering up. Oops. I'll just cover this up real fast. And that looks good. There's still an area over here. Cave rock. Make this bigger. Now we have like a nice big rock covering that thing right there. You could use these as many as you want. If I hold alternate and I just drag around on the floor, it's going to align it to the floor. So that's always good. Make this rock a little bit smaller because I feel like it's too big. You know what? Actually, that looks even better. Duplicate it. Loving it, loving it. I like that. That looks cool. That looks neat. It's gonna look even neater when you actually start lighting it up. Okay, okay. So what else? What else? So I'm just shaping it. It's like it's coming to me at random. Use the cliffs inside here too. I use it a lot. Rock cliff. I use these rocks a lot. It just creates this unevenness to your cave. Of course, if you don't like the texture, you can just hold alternate and shift and use your scroll, your middle mouse button to scroll, and you can make it look different if you want. One thing I like to do when doing stuff like this is I also like to make my own textures, and I would change the textures of that rock to match these walls. But for right now, I'm not going to go into detail on that because it would take too long. But I'm just going to leave it like this. This is, it's really good to work with like this. Should probably make it a little bit smaller because that is a big fucking rock. And we can just continue adding to it. Like that. Excellent. Very nice, very nice. Creating this unevenness to it. And there's these platforms too, which is you know, pretty interesting. You can build on top of them, and I don't think we're going to be using much of this though. Not here. Don't need that. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. Right here, I would imagine that we want to add like some kind of. Let's take one of these floors. Turn on my snapping tools again. Bring them up. Now we have this issue, as you can see, where it's not matching up with the rest of the floor. So let's find something where we can cover that up. And there's plenty of stuff like in the cave, um, and you know, in this mesh set, I would say, that you can use cover up those holes. Hmm. There we go. This one's going to be one of these is going to be useful. Is there a smaller one? Ah, this thing's useful too. Just make it fit. Just make it fit like that. Just like that. Duplicate it again. Uh-oh, what happened? I have no idea. Control S to save it, just in case it crashes or some shit. Don't know what that was. Okay, so let me take this and put it over here. Match it up, align it with the rest of the rocks. These things, like, you know, don't have to be aligned perfectly anymore. Cover it up later. All right, as you can see now, the rocks are kind of aligned with the rest of the floor. Everything's kind of uneven to make it look more cave-like. These ground meshes, I can move them to a place where they're not overlapping each other. And it looks like they match up almost perfectly, which is surprising. I was not expecting that. But I was expecting not to expect the unexpected. That looks about right. That looks good. I like that. Okay. We can continue building from here. I'll add some rocks. Doing this creates that unevenness and natural shape, natural cave shapes that we need. We also want to cover up any, like, you know, textures and shit that might look like they're overlapping each other. Make sure that it aligns right. So this is a good way to do it. Just like that. So you might be thinking, okay, so now we have this unevenness on the ground, but it doesn't really seem like it serves a purpose, or how can it be useful in a way. So one thing I would be thinking right now is maybe if there are people living here, they can use that to how do I say it, as a place where they live at. Like maybe have a little fireplace or some shit, not a fireplace, a campfire or something inside the cave, right? And you could do that. Let me look in the pack-ins. On the pack-ins, you got, let me look up fire extinguisher. Fire barrel. Need campfire. You know what? I don't think there is a campfire. We're probably gonna have to make it myself. I could take it from somewhere else too. That will work. But no, no, no. This, for right now, let's just focus on. Let's use the pallets as a like kind of a thing where they let's just say they were building something here and there's people living inside of here. So build out of wooden pallets or some shit. Just use your imagination. That's it. Just use your imagination. Come up with something. It really is. It is a lot of fun to come up with your own shit in this game like this. So there. Now we got a ramp made out of pallets. I could use to further make it more natural. Use some planks. Static planks, single plank. Perfect. And even with how long this takes, you could end up spending like lots of hours just working on this stuff. But it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. So a couple of scabbies, just say they came and they lived in a cave, used it to build their own little home. Ugh, can't get that aligned right the way I want it to. What should I put down here? Like make it maybe just put another palette. There. So it doesn't look all the same. Let's do that like that. Plywood maybe. Plywood. Right here. You see? Perfect. Whoops. You got a couple of pieces of plywood right there. I don't like that texture. So instead of using that, I think that's good. And let's put some more of these rocks on the wall or something like that. Decorate the walls some more. Not sure if I like that little piece right there. I'll leave it like that. I like it so far, so. I'll come up with a solution to this. I saw that fire barrel not too long ago, so. These always look cool. Let me show you exactly what that looks like. Let me press the A button. I mean the A letter, the A key, and you can see it creates this grading effect with the lighting, which we could duplicate it. So as I drag this pack in, I went over here into the filter and I looked up. I just wrote in fire barrel, and all this stuff came up. Oh my eyes! And so these are pack-ins, and I can duplicate the pack-in while it's still selected, and duplicate this a couple of times to create that lighting effect inside the cave. And to make things easy, just get one of those palettes, control copy and paste it over here, and once again do a um, little bit of placing, and you can have 2 or 3 lighting up the whole area. And just tweak it to your own settings, how you like it. Give you a little basic understanding of how to place things and how to make things look pretty cool. So here, let me drag in another one over here. Metal fire grading, global illusion. I mean global. What is that? What does that stand for, anyways? I don't remember. All right, this one's floating a little bit, so let me lower it into position. I think it's global illumination or something. Anyways, that looks really cool. So much stuff that you can do with that. And if you want to light your map a little bit more, go into world objects. That's where it is, right? Light. You got all these different types of lights. Try not to edit any of these lights, because if you're editing them from what is it called, from their base, from their base, you're going to end up changing the light in the whole game. So what you're going to want, you're either going to want to make copies of those lights, or you just go into here, you double click on that light, and then you edit it from this area right here, where you can change the color and stuff, if I'm correct. Cast shadows, doesn't, light landscape, default, fade. That's it right there, fade. But I think if you want to change the color, you have to make a new light. So actually, let's see what this light over here is. This light is fire, NS, no shadow. That's what it means. Okay, so I'll duplicate this right here. What that's going to do is, if I press S, I can, if I hold S, the S key, and I drag my mouse, I can change the radius of that light right there. And I like to add maybe 2 or 3 of these just to light up the area a little more. But instead of creating a thing where these lights are the same brightness, I go into light data and I change the fade to maybe about 0.8, 0.8, so that this one is not as bright as it is close to where the area where the fire is. So it's just a little, it's a little bit darker, but it's further away, and it's lighting up more of the area. So adding 2 or 3 of these will cover most of the cave. So let me add one over here, and I'll put even this one even lower. So it's barely lighting up that area, that corner. It creates that illusion that the light is reaching a lot further than it actually is. And the further it gets, the less light it's gonna. the less brightness it's going to have. So 0.4 over here. And now we pretty much lit most of our cave. And for over here for the door, push A again so that you turn off the lights, turn on all the lights or whatever. Continue to build this cave. Right here, you're going to want a light that actually is it's coming from outside. So in order to do that, if I remember correctly, it's in all these right here. Somewhere around here. I just don't remember which light it was. I don't think it's that one. Is it exterior light? EXT? Okay, I don't know. Not. Don't think it's that. You got cave lights, you got candle lights. Stick with the defaults. It's probably the best way to get this to work right. Spotlight? No. Flicker TV. Good way to find out which one is the correct light. Oh, this looks cool. Check this out. Adding this into your cave. Like if you got some water and it's shining that's actually really cool. I like that. Might want to add some water in there.
Hello.
So I'll do that later. I'll put like water in this corner right here.
Hello. Yes. Yes.
Somebody's on the phone.
Heading now. No, but they go by bail.
Is that being recorded? Okay, hold on.
By boat.
Okay. Okay, so we got our invisible door. I can set that up. You know what? I can't remember exactly where that light is. There's a light that shines the sunlight from outside, but I just can't remember what it's called. I might have to make a new light myself. So I'll just create a new light. Fuck it. We'll call this 00 tutorial light. And let's see if I remember how to do this. You can select omnidirectional. You got a spotlight, shadow hemisphere. Omnidirectional is fine. I don't remember. Wow. Well, we'll save that for later. Next lesson, while I'm going through my through Northern Springs, and I'll look up what it is, how to actually do it. Okay. So we pretty much got all that other shit covered. So let's just worry about that later. It looks kind of silly when you can't actually see that there's no light coming out from outside. Ugh. Light data. Select the color. That's fine. Hey, Rob. Okay, select the light. Okay, we'll just use that temporarily light for the time being. Okay, so we need this invisible door. I'm going to also use it as a well, I can't. Let's just copy it. Okay, recent cells.
Bring me some drinks, pero no de los garrones, de los más chiquitos.
Okay. Hopefully you can still hear me. We got people.
It's the power rate. The power.
Okay, so I'm making a door so that we can connect the two rooms together, the exterior and the interior. So I'm going to select reference from window right now. Okay, which one's the one that's open? I don't think it's that one. We go to this one right here. Wait, no, that's not the one. Not mistake. Okay. Let's go back into the cell. Select the reference from window right there. So now we link both of them together. Let me grab this. This thing is your that's where you spawn at. That's the warp spawn. Once again, save it like always. Once again, over here, move the same thing. That's your spawn. And so if everything worked the way that it's supposed to,
I literally just got home.
let me close this. Make the window smaller. And now when we test the map, we should be able to go inside the interior world space. I mean, from the world space to the interior. Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to end it after this. I covered some regions and some interiors. It's just that there's too many people that they're walking in and out of the kitchen. It's really gonna be hard to focus on the stream. So center region, center region. Whoa. That's not it. Next. See, I'm already feeling distracted. Cool. Anyways, if everything worked out the way it's supposed to, I should be able to enter in here from that. It says inner cave. Enter. Open. Here we go. Okay, I don't understand why everything is completely bright in here, but as you can see, it actually... Oh, now I remember. I know why it looks like this.
Because.
But as you can see, it worked. It worked just fine. So, okay. Let's go back into that cell and let's fix the lighting because the lighting's all screwed up. So I'm going to open the cell again. And, okay, let's have a look at this. What I did wrong here was I got to go into cells and go into the directional ambient lighting. So in order to do this, first thing that I should do, let's try this. Set from, select for ambient lighting. A good way to do this. Let's use a number, a very low number of like 8. Select color, ambient. Select color, that's good. Since it's a cave. Oh, you know what? One good way to do this, it would be a lot easier. Go in here, go to caves underground lighting template. Okay, there we go. That's good. All right. Save it. And once again, do it again. Okay, so you'll see center region, ext1.
Hey, Miss Green. Hey, Miss Green. Hey, what's going on? How we doing out there?
So yeah, there you go. We got the ramp that we created. We got the cave. Everything's looking a little bit very foggy. But as you can see, now it's not completely full bright and it's working just fine. Cave looks pretty decent for what it is. You got the little effect over here with where I said that I was going to add some water and stuff. So now we've created a cave interior and we can build up and build on from that. And we can start detailing and make it look really nice and cool. There's a bunch of effects that you can use. Putting some raiders in here. That's actually what I'm... Oh, wait, no. I said that NPCs were going to live in here. We're going to add some NPCs in here and then maybe tie it up to a quest and say, oh, well, you know, I got stranded in this island or something. I need somebody to get me out. And then maybe, you know, you could have them follow you. And then you take them back to the Commonwealth. There we go. And I just made up a story where you get a quest. And you got to take them back to a place and it becomes a settler. I don't know, a sanctuary or something. So that's pretty much it. There's a lot of other things that I need to cover. As you can see right here, there's no... It's just a white glitchy looking thing right here. Where I need to make it look like, you know, like it's a sky. So we'll cover some of that shit tomorrow. Maybe cover up some of these areas. I got to put a little... I got to put some kind of a invisible collision hole right here so that we cannot continue walking towards this area. And so when we go over here, it just, you know, it just takes us to the RAGEStyle world. So And from here, we got this little world going on and everything, you know, connected. Let's just go over what we did today. And here, this little boat right here takes us back to the Commonwealth. And you know that's going to take a little bit of time. All right, so everything's working out the way that I wanted to. And I hope you guys learned something from this lesson. Thanks for joining me. I don't know what else to say. We're going to work on some new stuff tomorrow. That's it. That's it for this stream. Gotta start doing some other things here in the house. So talk to you guys later. This is RAGEStyle Gaming, RAGEStyle Lessons. We are doing Fallout 4 Creation Kit. Peace out.
If not, we'll see you this weekend.